My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Nunas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
And today, it's everyone's favorite episode. Everyone's favorite episode. That's right. It's the What We're Watching episode. The episode where we talk about stuff we've been watching. Before we get too deep into it, with the day we're recording this, the strike is still on with the Actors Union, so anything on the streamers that are currently in striking actions, we will not be talking about. So when you're sitting there thinking, man, they're really not watching these super popular dramas, we are. We just will not be talking about them.
We just aren't talking about them. Sorry.
So we will...
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Strikers.
But you know what? This actually has an added bonus. Because people who may not know some of the less popular dramas are about to like really get some stuff that they enjoy. Like we're about to give you your new favorite dramas. It's gonna be great.
Sure.
Sure.
Well, maybe giving
new favorite streaming sites.
Yeah, you know,
maybe. Possibly.
We could be giving you some new classics that you didn't know were missing in your life.
Wait and see.
So, as we do normally, we have picked a random order for us to go in, and then we've picked a time. So, there's the strawberry of time that warns us when our time is almost up. It's good time. The strawberry of time is here to warn us when we've been talking too long. So, I think our first victim to tell us what she's been watching is old Sky. So, Sky, give it to us. This is a safe place. You can tell us what you've been watching.
Okay. I'm going to emphasize this movie and show couple that I watched because it's funny. Do I recommend this? No, I actually don't, but it's fun. Old Miss Diary is what it's called, okay?
Okay.
The drama does exist on Kokowa, I think, or Vic. I don't know what version of Vicky. I'm watching it on Kokowa.
Mm-hmm.
But how did I start watching this? Ji Hyun Woo, I'm kind of in an era with him a little bit still, so I saw that he had made a 2004, I don't know if this was a weekender, it's a weird little family drama type situation, but then there was a movie, and I was like, I can watch a movie. Now, the movie, does that exist anywhere I found the movie. So I started watching the movie. The movie is a little more... This is a wackadoodle show, okay? The movie is super heightened. It's like super silly. Super. The show is pretty silly too. But by the time I finished the movie, I was like, okay, I now need to see how the show compares. Because I thought it'd be like, I want to see, is this the same thing? Are we talking the exact same characters? It is the exact same characters, but the show was toned down a fair bit. And so that's why I'm sitting here watching bits and pieces of a 232 episode family drama. From 2004.
Oh my.
Wow.
So that's what's fascinating about it. As far as like, I don't know how this all came to be, but the show was 2004. The movie was 2006.
Okay.
The movie was super silly. Of course it was. But as far as it's the same shtick. The main couple, they end up being the main couple. She works as a voiceover actress type person and radio show host, and he is the radio producer. And he is super introverted, and she is the chick that was Jennifer from Still 17.
Oh, cool.
That actress. And that's why I was like, once I saw, I was like, that's this couple. I was like, I must watch this. Now, as far as, we know she is a brilliant actress, but you have to have your levels whenever you're doing these family. So like, the writing does not allow her to have necessarily the gravitas that she has in the other shows that we've seen her in. She's a very silly, like, 31, 32 old maid, right?
Oh, yeah,
and like,
Just
ancient.
So ancient.
Yeah.
And then it's very and it's just so funny that the character name, Ji Hyun Woo's character, is Ji Hyun Woo, because of course it is.
Sure.
Producer G, he's younger, and he kind of starts getting a crush eventually because she's just so silly. So, like, that's
Is it one of those, like, he's younger, but it's like 3 years younger? So.
Yeah, it's not, I mean, he's still like 20s. Like, it's not, it might be like a 6-year gap.
Okay.
Maybe. But as far as in the movie, there's not really a love triangle whatsoever. And then at the very end of the movie, they have just this little teaser of there's these two guys that show up in the in a police department or something. They got arrested. Come to find out there was a love triangle in the show. So, like, she has a best buddy. She eventually has this best friend guy. Lawyer, same age. He's totally a playboy type. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway. Am I watching this entire show? I am not. I did watch the entire movie. The movie was very fun. It follows, there's 3 grandmas. There's, like, a single dad. Like, just, her whole family's just kind of a mess and silly. In the show, it drags real bad through those. I'm here for the couple. I usually don't do this type of thing, but here I am doing this type of thing. The reason I'm talking about this is it's so funny and silly, and for some reason they have ABBA as their, like, soundtrack to this show.
Nice.
All the time.
Funny.
And, like, there's even this moment where, like, the best friend guy, gives her an album. And I was like, that was not just an ABBA album, was it? It was an ABBA album.
Awesome.
It's the scene transitions. They have like 3 to 4 different scene transition sound effects that they use constantly. And there's like, one makes it sound super derpy. One makes it sound like really weird sighing. It's so strange, guys. And the fashions. The fashions are so bad and fun. The hair. It's just good quality, slow burn, awful stuff. I don't know. Like, I'm having such a fun time because I didn't expect to keep with the drama at all. I really was just trying to see tonally, is it exactly the same as the movie? And it wasn't, and that surprised me. So then I was like, okay, I'm here for it. Because the movie was very much like rush to get together at the end. It made 0 sense. That shouldn't have really occurred in the movie. But Old Miss Diary, the drama, does it take them 100 episodes to finally date? It does. It's just the way it goes. Were we not they weren't even really friends until what, 89, episode 89. This
you have
is the
to
way
do
it
that.
goes.
It's like halfway through the series.
You gotta drag it out. Like,
And they're long.
And she has 2 best friends, and they live together, and so, like, one of them has an actor boyfriend that's on again, off again, and then one's a girl that, like, dates around a lot. And so it's always, I really think it was their version of trying to be kind of Sex in the City type thing with these friends, like, always talking about dating and kind of being older. And not like that evocative necessarily, but it's very, you can tell that's kind of what they were going for. So that's why, now, I do sometimes watch a little bit of, like, the grandma shenanigans and stuff. Some of it's just so funny. But, again, I only have so much time to spend on it, so I really only watch bits. That is my strange little Old Miss Diary drama. Do I recommend this? If you really just want to see Ji Hyun Woo doing something with floofy hair, being an introvert character, have at it.
Sure.
Are you ready for some just really silly old maid type shenanigans?
And this is the show for you, baby.
It feels squarely 2004 drama, like Weekender type stuff. I mean, it's not the mahjong, like, so that's why I don't really know if it was a Weekender. It's just so many episodes, so it makes me wonder.
It could be like a sitcom type situation.
Or, like an everyday, like
daily drama.
Yeah.
Drama.
It feels like that, because it's like, they're really short. It
Yeah.
feels like something they would put on, like, at lunchtime and watch this ridiculous
and I guess,
drama.
like,
I would
he's
his
gonna
first
be
daily, so.
home.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, it might be his first daily. It wouldn't be his first that I've watched, but that could very well be his first daily.
So, since I've never watched any bits of Daily really before, I mean, I watched his Old Lady and Gentleman show a little bit, bits of it.
Oh, that show! Old Lady and Gentleman! Oh, what a show! What a show!
Anyway, so how about you, Amanda?
I have found a little bit of time to watch dramas this past couple weeks. I started watching on iQIYI, although I'm looking and it's apparently also on Viki. It's a drama from last year called Healing Food, Healing Love. And it's a C-drama. Just nice little rom-com. Like very, very low stakes. Very, very low stakes. Very easy watch. Like, I'm like halfway through this thing and I had to go back and rewatch some today because like I couldn't remember what it was about because it's that low stakes that you're just like, what did I eat? Like, oh, okay. But it's basically the premise is this girl, the female lead, works for a food magazine and she loves food and she loves the stories that go with food. So she just loves to have this opportunity, go out and try food and like learn the stories behind it and take pictures and just enjoy eating it and everything. In the very first episode, it's the day of her like engagement party and it's set up just like a full wedding kind of situation, like with the stage and the whole, everybody's there, all the friends and family. And they're up there, they're exchanging these vows and rings and everything, and this girl hops up on stage and is like, I'm pregnant with his baby, and he better not be, and you know, and so her friends, rightfully so, start to kick the crap out of him, and and she just, you know, grabs the mic and from the officiant and is like, apologizes to the crowd and says, I'm sorry, we can't do the thing that you came here for. I will make sure everybody gets their gifts back. Bye, kind of thing. And the male lead happens to be at the hotel at the time, and he kind of looks in and sees all this happen. So he sees this woman up on this stage in this terrible moment of her life, behaving with like grace and, you know, whatever. And then later sees her drunk off her butt in the hotel bar. Well, and these, like,
of course,
you know, fair.
I mean, I would.
And because he saw that event, he knows why she's drunk in the bar, and he sees these guys trying to get her to leave the bar with them, and he goes over and is like, oh, no, I know she's not with you, like, I know that's not what's going on here, so I will, he basically does what they're doing, but like with noble intention. He's like, I have a hotel room upstairs, I'm going to go dump her in the bed and then like go get myself a different hotel room kind of thing. And you know, like she'll be safe in a space without these creepers. And she like is drunk, she tries to kiss him, you know, whatever, he just dumps her in the bed and leaves. She wakes up in the morning in a hotel room, you know, not knowing what she's done, but she can kind of remember that there was a guy there and she tried to kiss him, you know, but she's like, okay, well, gotta get to work, bye. She, you know,
well, it's been fun. Gotta go.
You know, an important day at work because, you know, the new boss is coming in. So,
day after the wedding.
I think you see where that's going. Yeah, and it's funny because she kind of like, you, and he's like, you, and then they, like, they're just okay. Like, he's not like, oh, now I know she's like a terrible human being, and she's like, he raped me last night. Like, he's like, nothing happened, I dumped you in the bed and like took off. And she's like, okay, cool. Like, and that's it, right? But he, it turns out, is a secret chef. And he is the secret behind this like new up and coming restaurant. And he, as her boss, says, okay, I want you to get like the big scoop on this restaurant because he knows, because it's his restaurant, how hard it is to get the scoop or whatever. So, yeah, it takes her a long time to like get in and get the deal going and stuff, but he finally sees her dedication to her job, and so he like lets her, he still doesn't let her know that it's him, but the secret chef allows her the opportunity to like interview him through like I don't know, letters or something. But he starts to really like cooking for her. So, like, there's just these sweet moments where it's like he sees that she's struggling with something else. And so he'll be like, he calls his best friend who runs the restaurant for him. And he's like, tell her that you have like a space opened up and she can come in for dinner. And then he'll like make this nice soup to like comfort her and like cute little bits like feeding her, right? Like
Amanda, we're at the point where I'm just like, stop selling, you've already sold, baby. Like, all right,
plan to watch.
Put on to watch.
Very cute. And then there's all these little side stories too about like they go to interview, like to do a feature on this one restaurant, and they keep noticing this old woman sitting in the corner who's like just orders the same thing every time, and they're like, what is her deal? And so they find out that like this restaurant is 100 years old. It's never not been open for 100 years, and she last saw her first love at this restaurant, and they promised each other when she moved away that they would meet up at this restaurant again someday. So now that she's older and her spouse is dead and everything, she's like, she comes to the restaurant every day in the hopes that maybe she will see him. Maybe he'll come back to the restaurant one day. And so they're like trying to like tell that story to go with the food, and like it's just very cool. Like there's a lot of little stories like that. I'm like halfway through, and there's nothing, like I said, nothing super intense. She lives with her two besties who are also her workmates, who also like, the girl is in a cute little Nuno romance with this Chaibol kid who like met her, fell in love with her, goes to his Chaibol parents and is like, I want a job. And they're like, sure you do, Sweeney. And he's like, no, for real, I am passionate about this career in text notes, food photography. That's it. Yep. I'm passionate about food photography. You should get me a job at a food magazine. And they're like, okay. So now he's her intern. And it's very cute. And then the third roommate is her sort of same age gay uncle. So there's like a whole little story, like it's just cute little moments. Like in the beginning, they think the new boss and the owner or the guy who runs the restaurant are like lovers, and there's like an office pool going about like whether they're and the uncle's like, they're not gay. Like I'm just telling you, my whole life is about reading that, and that is not what's going on.
That ain't what's happening.
And the like office Fujoshi is like, no, look at the way they touch each other and stuff, and he's like people touching people, like it's not okay, but I will take your money, so let's have that bet, like, you know. So it's just a really cute little nice vibe to it.
Adorable.
So
yeah.
Sounds like one that's immediately going on Natalia's old watch list.
I thought it was so funny, like Amanda mentioned soup, and you're like, it's going on.
Soup?
I mean, there's like a love triangle now. Her like first love has come back into town, and he's a dessert chef. And he also,
of course,
the meal chef and the dessert chef.
Yeah. They're just like having this, and they see each other, right? Like these guys are like, I see what you're doing. Oh, you're feeding her a dessert? Oh, well, I will feed her hot pot. Like it's just this battle. I mean,
and to this I say, keep both chefs. That sounds like a great idea.
You know what, honey? Polyamory is a thing.
Best of both worlds.
Dinner and dessert, baby.
Dinner and dessert for both.
Like, come on.
Full course meal, my guy.
So how about you, Natalia? What have you been watching?
So, okay, I finally finished because it ended, so this is how it works. The next entry into the Cutie Pie universe, Naughty Babe. I finished it. Now, and you're thinking to yourself, all right, Natalia, the world's first more expert on the Cutie Pie universe, how did it stack up to the other ones? I'll get to that. For anyone who hasn't heard of it, it's called Naughty Babe. It's on iQIYI. It's also on YouTube, but, like, just watch it on iQIYI. It's like, all the good bits are in it, you know? They have to cut out some for the YouTube standards. You know what I mean. And also, it's not in 4 pieces. When you're on YouTube, you have to watch it in 4 chunks. When you're on iQIYI, you can watch it all as one episode. And it follows, like, the second couple from Cutie Pie, because there's 3 couples in Cutie Pie. It follows the second one, and it takes place, like, 3 years after the original, where they've gotten engaged, this 2 couple, but they've been engaged for 3 years, and, like, things have not progressed at all, and they're basically living apart. And the main guy, Diao, who's like the little cute one, played by Natalia, is like, I don't think he loves me anymore, and I think he's cheating on me because I've seen him with women, talking to women in a close manner, and he never comes home anymore, and we haven't had sex in like 2 years. And I don't think he loves me anymore, so I'm going to leave because my dream is to go to Switzerland and hang out with some Swiss cows because they look like they've got it made, okay? And so he's like, and he's like, listen, if I'm ever reborn...
Follow your dream, buddy.
Yeah, I want to be reborn as a Swiss cow. And I'm so excited. Like, I'm just going to, like, if things haven't worked out for this engagement, and that's fine. Like, he doesn't love me anymore. I'm just going to go to Switzerland. But then he also has his little chihuahua. And so he's like, listen, I'll come back for you. Like, you're going to be a little lonely without me for a while, but don't worry. Like, little chihuahua, I will be back for you. And they did recast the chihuahua between the 2 shows. But I think it was because they wanted a chihuahua they could comfortably dress up in cute outfits, because this chihuahua never naked. All right? It always has an outfit, a costume, something. Meanwhile, his fiance, Yi, is like, no, we're still engaged. Like, we're still getting married. And then gets home and realizes that his fiance has taken off and is like, what? So he then immediately goes to, like, catch him and gets into a horrible car accident because his car malfunctions. And then ends up, when he wakes up in the hospital, does not remember.
Amnesia.
And only remembers him as a 7-year-old when they first met. And is like, I'm not engaged to you. What are you talking about? We're engaged. And he's like, well, we're not going to be engaged any much longer because you've been cheating on me. And he's like, that doesn't seem like something me, even though I have amnesia, would do. Like that. But, and then you're thinking,
like, I haven't done
are they
that,
going to,
okay?
like, really drag out this amnesia plot? And you're like, this is so done and tired. Don't worry, they don't. He does very quickly recover. Like, this is like the first 2 episodes. He recovers, but then it's like, but he's gonna leave me if he knows that I, like, got my memory back. So I have to keep pretending.
The tricky amnesia trope.
But meanwhile, he's like, but there's something sus, because the car that had the horrible malfunction that I got beat in this car accident, it wasn't my car. It was his car.
Oh.
Except that it was a present from my dad. By the way, the guy playing the father in this...
Is he a smoke show?
Oh my god. Okay, first off...
Talia's like, speechless.
Okay, listen. First off, like, I have never seen a more perfectly cast father-son between Max's character Yi and the guy playing his dad. Like, it's not that they look exactly alike, but they look pretty close, but the energy is, like, dead on between the 2 of them. But also, the father clearly likes the fiance more than his own son. And so it's just like, shut up, where's your fiance? Like, you're not allowed breaking up with him. And it's always like, listen, if you don't like my son, you're my actual son. I can find you a new husband. And he's like, and his actual son's like, I'm right here. Like, what are you doing? But also, like, was way too sexy. Just like,
the dad was way too sexy.
The dad was way too sexy. It's not like he was like doing sex things. Like he'll just like they'll go to his house and he'll just be like doing Tai Chi, and you're like, calm down, daddy, like chill. But anyway, Dad, when he's played by Jab Penpatch, chef's kiss. But you then find out that like Diao's family, like the main dude's family, is a little shifty and maybe holding some things against his fiance's family to try to like get money out of him, essentially. And so it might also maybe, because like it's like the stepmother and the half siblings and the evil uncle situation, you know. So I'm not gonna get into more because I feel like that would give away too much. It's very fun. Some of the later plot that happens, I don't want to say it doesn't really make sense, but it's like it has him and Kua, who was like the main guy in the first one, coming up with like a harebrained scheme at some point. And like neither of them really have the brain power to really orchestrate a successful harebrained scheme, and it very quickly shows that like they're not schemers per se. So, but anyway, it does end it has a very nice ending that's all like, we should really legalize gay marriage in Thailand. So like that was also in Cutie Pie as well. So that's like not like but this takes place in a future fictional Thailand that has already legalized gay marriage. So it's like it's like an aspirational thing. Now it does have some spicy bits, very intimate spicy bits, might I add, like very romantic spicy bits. I was like, okay, oh okay. But it is enjoyable. Is it as good as Cutie Pie? No. Cutie Pie is better.
Well, is anything really gonna, like, beat Cutie Pie? Let's be real.
For Natalia, that's way up here.
But I will say, like, they did have, like, the main couple from Cutie Pie as their best friends. And they come in, and Z, who plays Lian, comedic genius, okay? Just, like, the sheer comedy of him just showing up and just, like, sitting there and being like, like, the comedic timing that this man has is chef's kiss. And then which is common in the show, they'll have, like, them thinking about, like, fake scenarios, like, them imagining, like, what if their husbands were in love? Like, it's dumb. It's so dumb, but it's so cute. And I actually did really enjoy it. I gave it an 8 out of 10, so...
That's pretty good.
Yeah. There you go.
But, which is pretty good. Like, it is silly. And I did see someone on Twitter who was like, why am I watching this sexless show? And I'm sitting here like, are we watching the same show? Like...
Oh, you must be watching on YouTube.
Yeah, it's like, you watching a different show than me? Because, like, just say you didn't like it and move on. You don't have to lie, you know? You don't have to tell absolute falsehoods. So I would say it's definitely worth its 18 rating that it has. But it is very enjoyable. It's on iQIYI. It's very fun. And very sexy, fun, good times. And cute. It ends cute, and it's just got cute throughout. There is a CGI tiger at one point. Watch out. That's all I have to say. But listen, it is what it is. You know?
But it has a chihuahua on it, so...
It also has an adorable chihuahua that always has cute outfits on. That the main guy loves, and his fiance hates this dog. And the dog hates the fiance. And it's like this long-running plot where, like, even when he's pretending to have amnesia, he at first is, like, gonna pretend he doesn't hate the dog, but he can't do it. The guy's like, oh, that's weird. Like, you don't like him even when you have amnesia. And he's like, yeah, weird. Woohoo. But yeah, no, it's a fun show. Not as good as Cutie Pie. It's still pretty good. All right, Jessie, what have you been watching?
So, a couple of weeks ago, Natalia messaged and was like, look at the synopsis of this show, right? And I was at work, and I kind of, like, briefly, like, looked at it, and I was like, oh, I've heard of it, and I just assumed that she was talking about it like coming, like it was like brand new, because I think you worded it that was like you just saw it on.
Well, because it had just been added to Vicky.
So, like in my head, I know. Listen, it's been a long day. In my head, I was like, oh, they finally did the remake of this, because it was a drama that I had like heard about years ago, like pre-pandemic, and they had been talking about doing a remake of it because it was an old drama, like from the 90s, making a remake for it. But this was literally months before the pandemic, so it got scrapped immediately. But I just like assumed she was talking that like it came out, and I was like, that's weird that I like didn't pick up on it, but like, oh well, like I'm gonna check it out. And then I realized very quickly that it was the original version, not this new version. The new version still is not a thing. It probably never will be a thing. And it's this drama called M. And I have to just
listen. Okay, for anyone who's never heard of this drama, you are not prepared for this synopsis.
You're not prepared.
You are not prepared. Okay.
I'm just gonna give you what my drama list has on their synopsis. M is the nickname of the soul of an aborted child that has the purpose to seek revenge on people who would not allow him to be born. M entered into the body of young girl, Pak Marie, and from this moment her life has changed and she cannot control herself anymore. Now we want to do a huge disclaimer, and I don't care if you hate me past this, but like 1000% pro-choice all day, every day. So going into this drama, I was like, I don't know, is it going to be weird? But I was like, okay, it's a horror, like strictly, like it's labeled as a horror. And when I had been like researching about it like years ago, it was like really popular when it came out too. Like it's like a kind of like a drama special, like technically. So it just like became super popular, and I was like, okay, I have to figure out what this drama is. And I watched it all in like a day and a half. I don't remember. It's easy. It's like 45-minute long episodes, 10 episodes. It's like easy. But like it essentially is the story of a woman who is possessed by the soul of this aborted fetus. It's
insane.
A wild ride. It's insane. I don't know if you and Natalia has started it yet, but me and Natalia definitely are going to do a full review on it, because there, like I gave you that like description of it, that information. It's even more insane as it goes on, but like highly entertaining, because it's like got really bad like graphics and just like really bad scares, and like just like it just kind of like perfectly cheese. So that's like why I kind of ate it up. I will say that like most of the time they're forgetting that they wanted to have this message about this aborted fetus. So like it like isn't like a
wait, we forgot we were trying to make a political point. We got too caught up.
It's not just like it's not just like taking over this woman, but like it's like a lot of fun, and they just added it on Vicky and Cocoa, so I thought I'd share it with you because it is the holiday season, so you should definitely check it out if you're like curious. Like I know that description, like the synopsis really like doesn't give you warm fuzzies, but like oh my gosh, just some of the like graphics and like it's just like perfectly
it was
like
the
90s.
height of 1994 CG.
94.
Yeah,
not 99.
94. Korean drama.
Yeah.
It's like so like the whole thing is like she like goes off, like she like the like very first thing that happens and that you see, it's when she's like in high school or just out of high school. Her and her friends go to like vacation at a house, like a rental house, just the three of them. These guys come to like attack them or whatever, and she, with the power
A baby?
Just goes nuts.
Notably powerful things, fetuses, like with their
yes,
notably powerful creatures.
Goes nuts and is able to throw one of the guys like through a window and kill him. And everybody is like, "What is wrong with her? How is she possibly able to do this? She's a girl." And that's when I knew I had to be in for the full like series. Like, and it just like
I just remember like
I'm not going to tell you anything else past that because oh my gosh, it gets crazier and crazier. Like it's not even like a tenth.
It
of
sounds
what
like the perfect
drama.
show, like with a large glass of wine. And
yes, I kind of wish I had been drinking wine while I was watching, but I did not. One of the friends is Kim Jae-soo, who a lot of people know. She was the main boss in Where Stars Land. She was also in 365 Repeat the Year. What else has she been in? High Class, Memory, Wrong. Like she's been in a bunch of stuff, and like so you get to see her younger. She's still gorgeous. She looks exactly the same. And I like spent almost the entire drama watching, and like there's points when she goes back to the main female lead goes back to her house, and it's her dad, stepmom, and her sister. And I was like, I kept on looking at her sister, and I was like, I feel like I know who that sister is, and I couldn't figure out. Finally, I Googled it, and it is Kim Eun-suk. Yes, that Kim Eun-suk, screenwriter Kim Eun-suk. Her only acting credit is this drama.
Wow.
Of all the single acting credits to have, that's the one.
This was the one where she was like, you know what? Maybe acting's not for me.
Yeah,
maybe I need to rush.
On in her 20s when this happened, so she's like, maybe I should just be writing things now. Yeah. But that was like a fun little like Easter egg while I was watching. I was like, I know who that person is, and then when I saw it on the credits, I was like, oh, that's right, that is who that is. Like honestly, the main what they're trying to tell you, but they don't really do well in it, is not a story that I care about at all. But it is a lot of fun, and if you're looking for like a cheesy horror that's like not the best, it's not well written. It's not a lot of things. They have no budgets. Oh yeah, like
instead of acting, they should have asked her to write this.
Right, really. But like it does have a really high rating on my drama list for what it is, and a lot of people love it.
Yeah, also only 29 people have rated it on my drama list, so that
here's the thing.
Have to do with it.
The biggest thing is that like when I was searching for it, like 2019 or whatever, I couldn't find it. Like you couldn't find it to watch it. So this is like something that like just now is actually like available for people to watch. So like what you see on my drama list is like pretty much entirely people who saw it like now, as like because it was just at the basically beginning of October is when they put it on. But I just knew as soon as like I saw that like Natalia like putting it in, I was like, oh okay. I was like wary of it, but I wanted to check it out, and then I realized it was the 94 version. I was like, oh, I'm here. I have to do this.
Like, I regularly will go on to Viki and just look at they have like the little list that's like they're just added, like the just added. And I'll just like and I'll see like what this was, and I was like, oh, this one looks interesting. Like what is this, like one letter M? Like what is this? And I click it and I read the synopsis and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, guys.
Oh, there's also drama? I'm not going to tell you who he is, but there is a very prominent, not Kevin, but English speaking person in the cast, and he does kind of well in it, especially with the like kind of character he is, and he speaks English during the entire thing with all the other people trying. Yeah. So if you like are into that trope,
1994's Kevin.
94.
1994.
Yeah. Maybe it's Kevin's dad. Like maybe he's older.
Pre-Kevin. Kenneth.
Pre-Kevin.
It's Kenneth.
Kenneth.
For anyone who's like new and doesn't know, like go watch Doom at Your Service, which I think is also on Viki. Like you'll find out who Kevin is. You'll find out who Kevin is. He's he's our favorite white man.
Yeah. It's a good time. It's it's whatever.
So funny.
It's a 94 show, whatever.
Yeah, I'll be watching it. Don't worry, they'll probably be a hit list.
I'm so excited for us to actually talk about some of the things, because some of the things are wild, and we just need to get it out of our system. All right, Sky, what do you have next?
Okay, so I'm gonna build up to how I got to watching this drama, which I don't have. Okay. It's an easy sell for me. But as far as I'm currently also watching, and I'm not going to dive into very long, I'm watching My Dearest. I'm in love with My Dearest. But I can't sit here and explain My Dearest to you because there's a lot of twists, and it's So what I will say about My Dearest,
review on it?
Yeah, here's what I do want to say about My Dearest. The director is the same as the director of The Veil. Meaning, the war scenes and the slavery scenes and things are not things that he shied away from. So, if you're looking for a happy good time with no blood or torture, do not pass go, do not collect $200. I love My Dearest, but I do not think it's for everybody that necessarily even likes Sageuk. It's a thing. So, love My Dearest, which means I'm obviously in my Namgung Min era as well. I just am. So there's that, but I'm also watching The Escape of the Seven, which I can tell you nothing about. Nothing.
We do a full
I can't do it
on system.
So, in Escape of the Seven, one of the main lead actresses is Hwang Jung. Okay? So, I'm watching these two dramas, currently airing dramas. I am loving them. Which means I am required to watch the show that they starred in together. Of course I am.
Of course. Obviously.
So, I'm going to talk about The Undateables for a second. It was back in 2018, which really is not that long ago.
It's 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's our first year.
Yeah. So, first thing I want to say about it is the entire vibe of the show is nothing like the posters and really different from the first 2 episodes. So, the posters try to make it look, I don't know. The vibe of the show is nothing like the posters or even the description. It's going to be difficult for me to even explain this show. But I'll try. So, Hwang Jung plays Yoo Jung So, again, we're getting character names that are so similar to the real person names, which just, okay. She is kind of clumsy and stuff like that, but she kind of has a heart of gold type thing. She, of course, is a forever single, but she kind of fell into matchmaking after being a failed professional diver for the national team. It's this whole thing. Now she's afraid of water because trauma. And Namgung Min, he plays a rich guy, essentially, who kind of runs a museum for toys, art toy type thing. But this is, every drama is kind of okay, we're just going to accept the fact that, okay, his dad's kind of a playboy, and which means he's kind of inherited the, can kind of read people gene as far as, so, meaning he could be a very manipulative person, but he's not. That's the charm of this character, actually. And I think that's what, in the first couple of episodes, it's easy to get concerned very quick about her being an innocent, clumsy character, and his character being pretty suave and could be very manipulative if he wanted to be. Thing is, he never is. He's actually a very kind person. And he never looks down on her. And he falls hard pretty quick. Which is
nice.
Which, does he realize he fell hard? It takes him a bit to figure it out. But he fell way before she falls. Way before. And so that helps the quote-unquote power imbalance. Not that there was much of one to begin with, really. But as far as social capital, you would be well, he's the one that has money. Again, really suave with how he speaks, that whole shtick, but, I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but what ends up happening is because behind the scenes, so, yeah, he's this guy that runs this toy thing, but he tried to help an army buddy by writing a dating column for him where he gives advice. Because he's good at that stuff, because he can just read how relationships work well. And it's legit stuff. So, and it gets super popular. Well, that means she is struggling to make matches again. She used to just be able to fall into it and make good matches for people, and she just hasn't had success for a while. So she seeks out this columnist to get help, like a relationship coach, to have him help these... So the Undateables is not the two main characters. The Undateables is this list of people that are using the matchmaking service that they haven't been able to match up anybody with. And so they try to figure out not how to fix the people, it's how to see what they need, maybe what miscommunication is happening, stuff like that. And so it's actually incredibly charming how they find, and usually it's not even, sometimes it is, this other person that's using the matchmaking service, but quite often is, well, I kind of have a crush on this random person over here, but like they kind of don't know I exist type thing. It's adorable. Like, of course, one of those people, like, she is face blind, and so of course that's a huge, so she doesn't have a lot of confidence because she can't remember people's faces. But does the bookseller who comes every day and kind of gets his feelings hurt that she doesn't remember him, he has a crush. He's had a crush. So like, it's simple once you get the relationship guy in there and he goes, these people like each other, they just are, they aren't meeting at the same level.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's just like seeing the humanity in each other type thing. It's very, very sweet. Every single little arc is very much like that. It's
Nice.
It's not, hey, this person needs to change for that person. So even the little side arcs.
It's a really cute show. Like,
and then even at the end, so like you see it at the beginning and then you see it at the end. Like, it all hinges on, Nam Min's character saw her get broken up with, like when she failed at her diving thing, and it was this whole thing, saw at the airport this whole shenanigan, and he never, so later on they date and stuff, and he never brings it up, because why would he bring it up? He's not gonna like rub that in her face.
Yeah.
There's no reason to make that a thing. Anyway, she eventually figures out he was there and saw her embarrassment and things, and so she's just mortified, and it was never a reason. That's not why he ever fell in love with her. It was just, he did a lot of very kind things then that she never knew about, just as a person to a person. It wasn't because I'm attracted to you because you're a woman. It wasn't any of that. It was, he extended just a little bit of kindness that actually made her life better. And then he went on with his life and then fell in love with her later. And so whenever she's just mortified for a while, and he's like, I never saw you as a lesser person because you had heartbreak. Like, that was not a thing. And so, to me, the two main, like, aside from the cute little, like, matchmaking things that they do and whatever, the charm of the show is very much seeing the humanity in each other and seeing the humanity in everybody. And also, he fell hard first, which helps a lot with, like, the charm of that. And then... she's not like a hyper self-conscious character, but just enough because she has like this failed career in the past and all that it all worked out very well. Like, I thought I would, because I had picked up the first 2 episodes a couple years back, and tonally I was like, I don't know, and I got distracted with other stuff, but it gets, the characters settle down for the rest of the, is there still a little bit of slapstick? A little, like getting stranded or whatever. I mean, that's just like drama stuff. Yeah. But yeah. So, and Natalia's seen it. It's cute, isn't it?
It's cute. It's a real, I enjoyed it when I watched it. Like, it's a really cute little drama, and they're adorable and have great chemistry. What's not to love? What's not to love?
What's really funny is, even though I had watched the first couple of episodes, I really thought that they were the Undateables, and like the whole shtick was... So that's the thing. I was led to believe a whole different bill of goods than what the show actually delivered. Yeah. And the bill of goods that ended up getting delivered was marvelous. I really, really enjoyed it.
Bill of goods was bad.
and I ate it up really fast. Like, I binged it in a couple days on a weekend. Like, it was... So I had fun. So I actually really... I recommend it for people who like rom-com-y type matchmaking stuff. I and I think people will enjoy it if you haven't given it a chance. Do not be misled by the kind. I'm not saying the posters are awful. I just don't think it matches the tone of the show at all. It makes them look like we're goobery and we would never date people. Is what?
Yeah, like I remember that
like.
being the way it was advertised.
I feel like the previews were like that as well.
Yeah, like
I really thought the whole thing was. I thought the whole thing was going to be like, you know, she believes in love and he doesn't. Not that those types of shows are bad, but that's not what's happening here at all. So I really think that a lot of people should give it a chance and maybe give it an episode or two if you like that type of thing.
Or maybe an episode or 3 since it's a turn
right, like
after the first 2 episodes. Yeah.
I'm not saying the first 2 episodes are bad. I'm just saying, like, they try to set up an enemies to lovers thing. They really don't stay enemies for that long, so don't get scared about.
I dropped it after 2.
Yeah.
I can totally understand. It's totally not
but
everyone's
it's
thing.
definitely not. Yeah.
But adorable. Check it out, guys. Especially if you're watching My Dearest and Escape
now
of
you
the
know
Seven.
how Sky like fully watches things.
Yeah.
Between these 2 answers, it's just like, yep.
Like, she needed a palate cleanser between the heightened stress of the other 2 shows.
Right.
Completely. It's like
bring the 2 together.
Yeah, it's like My Dearest, Escape of the Seven, and then the Undateable. Like, tonally, it's just everywhere. So, yeah.
Totally different.
How about you, Amanda?
Well, I started a 2021 drama for my 12 for 12.
Yeah.
It is called, well, on Viki, it is listed as Casting a Spell to You. Its original title was Mojito, and then it sort of like disappeared, and then it was like, I remember it having some kind of like kerfuffle initially, but I think it's a Viki original. Very, very classic K-drama tropes happening here. Like, this is your classic K-drama rom-com about a, you know, selfish chaebol and a poor, hardworking girl and a quirky work situation. Like, that's the drama. But, I'm only a few episodes in. It's cute. I'm just enjoying it. It's sort of silly. It stars Sungjoon as the, you know,
not to love.
Chaebol. So exactly, he's adorable. Like, he brings a level of, I don't know. You like him, even though he is a pain in the butt and he's selfish and he is. Like, he's just selfish. I mean, you first meet him, he's off in Europe somewhere with his European girlfriend with a, you know, thick Russian accent, and she is, of course, you know, and he's like, so I am, you know, they're having this great romantic moment, and he says, so we have to break up, and she's like, so what? Okay. And he's like, what? He's like, I gotta go back to Korea, and because A, he's like broke, so he's got to go hit up his rich dad and get some more money, and B, his grandpa died, and so like he should go to the reading of the will.
Yeah.
Just in case, you know, some money.
Just in case.
I understand.
So, he discovers at this moment that his girlfriend is the daughter of a mobster. And she does not take kindly to that.
Right.
So she tries to murder him. You know, if she can't have him, nobody can. So that's fun. He escapes.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he, you know, runs away, escapes, flies back to Korea. His mom, like his dad, he is just like his dad. His dad is also a very selfish, thrift, you know, spends money like a crazy person kind of dude, and cheated on multiple women. He has lost all of his fortune because it has gone off to women with whom he has fathered children. Sungjoon's mom is like, she has changed her life, and she is now the pastor of a church. She spends all of her time like feeding the homeless and like just making trying to make good choices in life because she made terrible, terrible choices as far as men go in the past.
We've all been there.
You know,
about it.
And it's the interactions with her where Sung Joon's character, as selfish and silly as he is, I don't know, he's goofy with his mom, but you can tell he loves her, kind of thing. Like, there's that kind of relationship going on there. So our female lead, her name is Soju. It was supposed to be like Sojong, but her dad was drunk. And when he was filling out the registry. So her name is Soju. And it so she hates her dad and she hates alcohol because her life is not
fair.
Fair,
you know.
She desires to move to France and study culinary arts in France. She has been working all kinds of night jobs. She lives with her best friend who he pays the rent, and she's the daytime owner and he's the nighttime owner. So he pays all the rent and buys all the groceries, and she does all the chores, and she works all night, and she comes home and they sometimes have breakfast together, and then he goes off to his office job, and
that is a good setup right there.
So she's been working and saving up all this money. She's got like 2.5 billion won saved up, and this should be enough to get her on this like special deal. And her best friend is a travel agent, and she can get her like the friends and family discount. And okay, this is going to be great, but it's going to
family friends,
like she needs more money though. So this is where the Chaebol comes in. They keep bumping into each other at different jobs that she works and stuff. And that's again where you see some of his charm, is that like he hangs out with these terrible other rich kids and they treat the wait staff like crap. And he doesn't stand up for her, but he also doesn't take part in it. Like, and he sort of looks at it and is like, ugh, why do I hang out with these people kind of like attitude. There's a girl who's in love with him, who's kind of his girlfriend, but like kind of not. I think she's probably headed for the roommate second lead dude, because they're working in the same office now. And she comes in, and the other office workers are talking about like, there's a parachute in here who got hired with nepotism, and she walks in and she goes, yes, it's me, my mom is the CEO of this company. I'm like,
I hear you talking about me.
Basically, it's very
love
like
the energy.
So like, I mean, just as long as you talk nice to my face, I don't care. Whatever, okay? I got the job, and someday I'll be your boss. So just,
I love it.
Just sitting there like, okay, cool.
Something that would be so annoying coming out of a dude's mouth, but a gal says, you're like, oh, queen.
I'm here for women's rights and women's wrongs. All right.
Exactly. So I'm only a couple episodes in, but at the point that I am currently in, it looks like from the premise that you read about, he winds up inheriting a building full of old books, and he doesn't know what to do with this. So he decides to open a day drinking book bar.
You know what?
Oh my gosh. That's a great idea.
That's not a bad idea.
I mean, like, maybe not like the drinking near old books like aspect, but like
if they were like old comic books, like old mangas, that would be a perfect situation.
So
concept is
we
great.
haven't quite got to that point yet, and apparently she's going to go work in this situation with him because her bestie stole all of her money and like took off to Hawaii with her boyfriend, and like
why I never,
right? So yeah,
dare
she at the point that I am at currently, he has just found out that Grandpa left his dad's side nothing because Daddy wasted all the money all the time and Grandpa kept a chart. So basically there's like a video of Grandpa going, well, my oldest daughter bought me these kinds of gifts for Christmas and always brought me food and called me once a week. So she gets the golf course and the da-da-da-da-da. My second daughter did this and this and this for me. So she gets this. And my son, he's a piece of crap. So he gets nothing.
You know what?
If I was a Chable...
Yeah, if I was wealthy like that, I'd probably do that.
Yeah. And the dad's like, but I'm the son. Thinking. Like,
yeah, maybe you should have picked one.
Even call his dad on his birthday. Like, nothing. Bye. And the son is going, oh crap! I gotta get a job. Dang.
Oh no!
So,
fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You fumbled the bag, Dad.
Yeah, exactly. So it's cute. I mean, is it clever and smart and no, but it's cute and the characters are adorable and it's got some good actors in it. Yeah, there's like kind of a little bit of a white Christmas crowd hanging out here and doing their thing, and so
nice.
Always love to see them pop up, and
yeah,
it's fun. So far it's fun, and I like the idea of this book bar. I'm looking forward to seeing how that pans out.
That's not bad. That's listen.
As quirky work setups go,
let him cook. Like,
pretty good.
He's got something going on there.
Yeah. So, what else have you been watching, Natalia?
All right. So I may or may not have bullied two other members of this podcast also watching.
You didn't bully me.
That's true.
I started watching
you were there
organically.
I definitely bullied one member
beginning
of this podcast into watching this drama.
Listen, she didn't have to deal with it like while it was airing and kept on getting like delayed. So
true.
She got it easy.
And there was this drama. It's on Gaga Ulala and Vicky, which you're like, oh, Natalia watched another gay show?
What?
What are you talking about? And it was called My Personal Weatherman. And this show is fantastic for a certain type of watcher.
Very certain type of
really likes a certain type of Japanese drama, okay? And so, like, I'll give you a little synopsis of what's going on in this show for anyone who's never watched it. So you're introduced to this very socially hapless erotic manga artist named Yo. Okay? And he lives with a guy, a weather forecaster. Alright? And the deal is, okay, this guy came up to him in college. They were friends in college and was like, listen, I know you want to be a manga artist. I want to facilitate that life for you. I just got a job that's bringing me bank. So, here's the deal. You can move in with me. You do all the, like, you be the little house husband, and I'll take care of everything else, alright? And then you can spend all day working on your erotic manga, and it'll be great. And so, he then moves in, and apparently was too stupid to realize that wasn't an offer of being a roommate. This guy was proposing marriage to him, and he hadn't quite picked up what he was putting down, but now he's really picked it up and really has just gone along with this romantic relationship.
It's obviously, clearly his first relationship too.
And so a lot of it is his inner dialogue where he's like, I hate this guy. He's so rude. He's so awful. But then, like, as soon as the guy's home, he's like, here's your dinner. Like, we're having sex. And, like, he watches him all day on his, like, weather forecast show and is like, oh yeah, I hate him so much, and is like lovingly drawing him instead of working on his manga. And you're like, all right, the lady doth protest a little too much. So it starts out with his first big complaint about this guy is that every time it's sunny, like it's going to be sunny the next day, which this guy being a weather forecaster has the skinny on.
Inside knowledge.
The inside knowledge of when it's going to be sunny. Every time it's going to be sunny the next day, they always have sex. They always have sex, and he always has to wash the sheets and dry them because they just have so much nasty sex. And then he's like, oh, and every time I hear it's going to be sunny, like, I, like, panic. Like, it does things to me, like, panic, air quotes. And then it very quickly, this develops into what becomes the essential crux of this show, which is two people who never actually say anything that they mean,
really
and then just misunderstand everything in the worst possible way, because then you very quickly find out at the end of this episode that the only reason this guy only has sex with him right when it's going to be sunny is because the first time they had sex it was rainy, and he said, oh, I'm not going to be able to hang up the laundry tomorrow. And so he's like, well, fine.
So this is our one sheet.
This is our one set of sheets. He's like, well, fine. Then we'll only have sex when it's going to be sunny. So that it's like less work for you because you can go hang up the laundry. And just take that energy and like extend it along an entire show, an entire 8 episodes. And when I tell you, Jessie and I were watching this while it was currently airing. Sky had the mercy of watching it after it finished airing. And at every opportunity that this production company had to cancel it for a week to show sports or something, it did.
They would. Would.
And so,
and this is like a small, like, 20-minute episode, Deja, okay?
Okay. Yeah. And so we'd be like, and every episode ends on, like, a real zinger, right? So you're like, oh, can't wait for next episode. It'll be like, well, 14 days. 14 days. Get out of here.
You got some time.
Like, you can't play with me this way. Like, if it's a twice-a-week show and it cancels one episode that week, that's one thing.
Like, fine.
One episode show, and it's only 20 minutes, and you do... This show, okay, I can't say this show is for everybody.
It's definitely not for everybody, for sure.
But there's a certain type of Japanese show that I think Jessie, Sky, and I all get some sort of sick enjoyment out of. And we've done an entire live stream about these shows, okay, that have the most ridiculous couples.
We call it the Coffee and Vanilla universe.
Yeah, it's the Coffee and Vanilla extended universe, where you just have the most psychotic leads with the most passive leads you can possibly imagine. And you're just like, this is insane. And yet, we can't stop. We can't stop ourselves. And like, the only thing that makes this one different is that they're gay. That's it. And it's like... And even like the main character can't even agree on that most of the time. Like, he's like, no, I love boobs, and then he's like, I love him so much. He's so beautiful, dreamy. And he's like, no, I hate him. It's like, oh, but.
And there's this one point, like, he has this best friend. She's like very like
she's the best.
She is the like definition of the extrovert who adopted an introvert type. Yeah, they both are like artists, and she's obsessed with the weather guy because like he's
she's like his
like
fan
on that
girl.
Like idol scale of like there's like fangirls for him type deal.
She has like little placards, she has like banners, like she watches them
every day. And then she found out her best friend is dating him, and she just like loses her mind.
That's probably my favorite episode. The episode where she goes to check on her friend. And unbeknownst to her, her idol essentially opens the door and she loses her shit.
And it's just, I'm like, he's like, the weatherman's kind of a bad person, but not really. And then like, Yo is just kind of an idiot, but not really. But like, And
if they just sat down once to talk about their feelings, it would be incredibly helpful.
They would have no problem.
They would have no problem.
But even
and you would find out that they were like perfect together.
Yeah,
that's the big thing. Is they're so dysfunctional, but they're so perfect together.
It's like they're the type of people that could not be with anyone else but each other. And
and you even get the backstory. So like they became friends in college, and it's kind of like the development of that, and kind of why even as friends, like the types of people that they are, went together well without all of the sexual tension, all that. It was really just the way their personalities fit.
Yeah, they just fit together.
And so as you're getting filled in the backstory, it's like, okay, what's happening is the weatherman thinks they're dating, and the other guy does not.
And it's not that the other guy's like too stupid. The other guy just has no relationship knowledge whatsoever and has not figured out that they're dating until they're moved in together, essentially a married couple. Like, it's incredible it's the show chef's kiss.
It is candy. It is. It's an easy watch.
It ended this month. It ended on October 13th. Have I already rewatched it, you ask? Maybe. Maybe.
Mind your business.
Mind your business. I don't need you up in my grill about this sort of thing. But, like, it's so just entertaining. And it's funny. It's funny. It's a funny show. Like, it's not like a pratfall slapstick kind of funny, but it's just so comedic.
I will say the main difference with this show compared to some of the other entries in the Coffee and Vanilla universe is you don't have the underlying, is he going to murder him?
Yeah. Feeling. There's never that feeling. Like, it's always just like, no, he's, maybe, like, edge him a bit, but never murder. Like, there's no violence there. It's just, like...
The violence is a wrist grab. That's the extent of the violence.
Yeah, like...
And putting a little tracker on him to not lose.
Yeah, like, it's... And just, like, he's just so jealous. Like, he hates that... Like, it's so ridiculous. The show is ridiculous, and I loved every single minute of it.
I really can't imagine watching it in bits like you girls did. Like,
it was really hard.
Torturous.
And like you try to like be like, okay, I'm gonna forget about it, and then it's like only 2 weeks that you forget about it. So you're like, oh, now I've got 40 minutes of it.
Yeah.
Okay, now we don't have it for a while. Okay, cool. Thanks.
It was painful. Like, but it was worth it, It was good pain. So yeah, that's on Vicky and Gagulala for anyone who's like, okay, you've sold me. You've sold me. It's worth the 4 hours you'll spend watching it.
Do not watch it with little ones in the room, obviously.
No. Listen, the one thing that I have to say about it is, I don't know how the actor playing the weatherman, whose name is Higuchi Kue, is both the most ripped person I've ever seen and the skinniest person I've ever seen at the same time.
He needs to eat about 5 sandwiches.
Like, my guy, drink. I want to feed him some soup. He looks hungry. Like, he looks hungry the whole time. Not just for food. Let's just say that. But Jessie, what have you been? What's your second show you want to tell the people about?
So, if you hadn't picked up, TikTok has a hold on me.
Yeah.
And
same.
TikTok likes to give me suggestions on dramas. And a lot of the time, they're suggestions of dramas for Natalia through me, which is very rude. But then, like,
it happens often, yes.
Then I just end up picking it up as well because it's just there, especially when it's a J drama.
Yeah.
So I was bombarded with a contract marriage.
And like, it probably didn't help that I had already watched it and was like, oh. And like went around liking all the videos of it because I was like,
it might have been, yeah.
And then like, since I send Jessie about 50 million videos a day and the same back,
we're linked up.
I feel it's like that like myth that like periods sync up. No, TikTok sync up. Like, and so I feel like we. we connect.
We did. Yeah. It finally showed up on Vicky, and so I was like, okay, fine, I'll like watch this stupid thing. Okay, fine. It's a
fine,
J-drama.
I'll watch a J-drama. Oh, Jessie was suffering. Yeah.
I know, right? And it's on Vicky. It's called Kissing the Ring Finger. It has a bunch of different English titles, but that's what it is on Vicky. So if you're like looking for it, but they literally just put it up. But it's also like it aired this year, I believe. Yeah. So it's a contract marriage. It's about this girl who works at like a wedding company, and she accepts a contract marriage from her boss. And it's like, I really like the setup of this contract because it's not like a normal contract marriage where it's like usually like, and it's got the same thing, but they do it like it fits within the like universe, because they want, like, he does this contract marriage because the business is starting to kind of fall, and he's also trying to take over the business and show that he's worthy of being in the position that he's in. And he's already done this like bachelor type of the reality show, and he's like, okay, if I get married and we start like a YouTube series together showing our marriage, this will help the company. And so he like zeroes in on her because he was there when she first started at the company, like during the interview processes, and like just knew that she was probably the fit for him, because she's also like, he like also really likes the way that she works, and he values like what she does in the work. So they enter this contract marriage where they like literally have to like to be together to like do these like YouTube videos and stuff. And he's like grumpy, you know, it's like the typical grumpy, but like she's like really nice, but she's also like really grounded, and she's not like bubbly like nice. She's just like a good natured human being and good at her job and stuff. And she essentially, her angle is that her parents need money because she comes from a lower class family. She has a ton of brothers and sisters, and it's actually like kind of narrated by her brother, who kind of like, you know, is like the narrator, like talking about things that are going on with his sister. It's super adorable. They're super adorable together. Like instant, you're like, yeah, sure, you should be like really married. Like obviously, like you two are perfect for each other. They're both idols, so I think that also helps. Like everything that they do in the show, I'm like, this is like your normal like everyday life is what you're doing in the show. But it's just like, it was really cute. Like I really enjoyed it. If you're like looking for like a contract marriage, and there's also a very, very cute dog in there.
I was waiting. Okay, Scott. I was gonna be like, Scott,
yeah.
I know
so,
you're
like,
wondering yourself, is there an adorable dog in it?
That dog is Central.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's like, what's the dog's name? I keep forgetting. It's like, it's not a dog. It's like Nico or something. Like, is the name of the dog.
It's her child. The dog is.
It's her child. Like... And the dog like he does the opposite of yours, Natalia, where the dog instantly falls in love with the guy who's like, whoa, I'm not into the dog. But the dog's like, I'm here to stay.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
What are you gonna do about
We're
it?
here. And it's like really cute. Well, and there's another thing that like I really respected from this show is he's grumpy, but it's mostly because he's just like focused on things, and he's also being pushed in directions to get married, and also he has a crush on, of course, like the best friend from high school. But and his mom or his stepmom is very like nefarious, like, so like that's where the central tension is with the stepmom, and you're always like, what is she going to do? Which like it took me a while, but if you've seen I'm Mita, Your Housekeeper, it's the woman who stars in that. She plays the stepmom. But what I really like about it is that he does a lot of good things. He's never like super like grumpy, and he's like, when he's grumpy, like it works, it fits, it's just like natural like grumpiness. And if she does something that's genuinely good, he like acknowledges it. Like there's one point when he gives her like the like person of the like, person of the month at the job, And it's literally because he saw her do this, 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 and this, and this, and this. And she genuinely was like right for the position. And sometimes when you see that, it gets a little weird because like you see the parent like that has like been the one to like raise them, and you're like, how did this person get to be kind of that like good level if they had this bad parent? But like you see his friend group, and his friend group are genuinely good people, and you realize that his friends had grounded him throughout his childhood and kept him from not being like just this like rich
piece of shit,
like spoiled piece of shit. Yeah. And like it's like it's got some really great moments. The like her family is like adorable. My favorite trope ever that happens in J-dramas is the quirky yet endearing family. And I mean, she has like 4 or 5 siblings, and the mom and dad are so adorable
and
together.
So in love, like these two
so in
people.
love, and just so perfect together. And they're so in love with their family, and all like the family is legitimately in love with each other. Like when you see the brother a lot, who's the eldest of the boys, but he's genuinely wants to just be good for like things to be good for his sister. And so there's a lot of the great moments with that too. And so it just like it's got some really nice like points in it. It's like a really good watch. It's an easy watch. It's
and she also gives as good as she gets, this female lead. Like she's sassy.
She is.
She's very sassy.
Yeah, she doesn't let things
let people
go.
Walk over her. Like if people are mean to her, like she'll be mean right back. Like it's
and she legitimately is good at her job. Like it's really Sky, like I don't think anybody on this podcast wouldn't like it.
But both of you would love it.
Yeah.
It's
I mean
really
she just is like really good, and that's like I was talking to Sky about this, like my new favorite trope that I've like zeroed in on is like it's not the grumpy and sunshine, it's the grumpy and like the humanitarian, where it's like the good human, and she does that. She's like good. There's even parts where she's like takes on like the manager role, and she's like legitimately good at her job, and she like even when she could just stop being at the place and just like live off of his millions of dollars and just stay home, she doesn't. And he also doesn't want her to do that as well, which is like the really nice kind of like like even when he's grumpy, he's still like legitimately like makes sure that she is doing what she needs to as well. Like
it's delightful. It's a delightful
show. It sounds delightful.
I'm glad I picked it up.
Thank you, Natalia's TikTok, forcing Jessie's TikTok to watch things. So, those are our main picks. And as we always do on these episodes, we do a very quick little roundup for anything else we've been watching. So, Sky, take us away. What else have you been staring at?
A Good Day to Be a Dog. Of course I'm watching it.
Of course.
So cute.
Yeah, so cute.
But now you get the, like, sports, like, delays.
Yeah. So, like, the fact that I got 3 episodes, like... Well, first of all, 2 episodes dropped at the first week, and then they're like, now it's going to be 1 episode a week. I'm like, fine, I guess. And then they're like, but for episode 4, we're going to be delayed another week. It's like, oh, well, that is really weird.
Thanks for that. Yeah.
It's cute. It's adorable. There's a sus character. I can't tell you what's what, but, like, fun.
And if you like cute dogs,
they're cute dogs.
Treat with this show.
Man,
many cute dogs.
It's the season of the dogs in dramas for us, apparently.
I'm midway through watching Beautiful Gongshim, or there's a bazillion different ways. I will say, so I'm watching on Cocoa. There is a different title. It's called like My Beautiful Fair Lady Gongshim. So I actually had trouble finding it. It does exist there. So like that is what it's under for Cocoa. Enjoying it, loving it.
I love that show so much.
Love
My
it.
mom loves that show so much. Like,
so I already told you about my eras that I'm currently in, so that means that I had to start the older drama Becoming a Billionaire because Ji Hyun-woo and Nam Kyung-min are both leads.
This is how you get this guy to watch classic K-drama.
And Lee Si-young too. Like I am contractually obligated to watch that show. So far, is it really that good? Not really. Am I having fun with it? I am.
Yeah, you don't have to have like a good show.
It
it's
could
just
be
fun.
fine, you know? You could just be
fine.
having fun with it.
I re-picked up Good Manager, because of course I did. I'm just slowly going through that one. It is what it is so far.
Look at the cast list.
That show's so fun. And for anyone like sitting here, they're like, huh, wait a second. There seems to be a byline with all these dramas. What's going on? Just, you know,
it is too what you think.
You can always figure out what Sky's current obsession is.
I love it. I love it so much. Every time she like messages like, I just picked up this, and I'm like,
all you have to do is go look at the cast, and it's probably like, oh, there's either a currently airing drama, or I'm obsessed with somebody, and that's just what's happening right now. And I already told everything else, really, as far as what I'm allowed to talk about. But I am enjoying Good Manager. It's just, I'm also trying to, get through Old Miss Diary and stuff. Oh my goodness. So, but I'm actually really plotting through, I'm getting through Beautiful Gongshim like the fastest right now, and that's what I'm really having a good time with. And so then probably like my efforts will then probably zero back in on Good Manager more. So like, I've just been very chaotic with my watching, if you can't tell. But I've had a good time with it. Like I've been enjoying stuff. Like when life gets kind of stressful, and if you kind of have more time to just sit and try to dissociate, there you go. Dramas are there for you.
They truly are.
So how about you, Amanda?
I'm still watching The Weekender, Live Your Own Life with Yui. It just did the over Chuseok. It did one episode a weekend for like 3 weekends in a row.
Classic.
So even though I've been watching it for like a month and a half, we're on episode like 9. I don't know. It's like, okay. So we're not that far into it. I don't know why I like this show as much as I do, because I don't usually like the Weekenders that are focused a little more on like the office politics and the terrible families. Like that's not usually the vibe I go for, but there's kind of a found family thing going on in that her mom and grandma live in this like building that the grandma owns, and I'm not even sure she's actually the grandma, or if the kids just grew up calling her grandma because like dad disappeared when they were young, and like so single mom situation, and this older woman helped out kind of thing. And then there's like a single dad and his daughter who also live in this building. And I don't know if you guys remember, but like I mentioned about like grandma who was being held hostage, and she like drugged her.
I forgot.
Right? Yeah. So she escaped and got hit by a car.
Oh, of course she did.
And she got hit by a car being driven by Yui's little brother.
Of course.
So he goes, okay, like, I gotta take you to the hospital. And the old lady in her delirium, no hospitals, because she knows if she goes to the hospital, her terrible family's gonna find her, right? So no hospital. So he's like, what do I do? He knows there's a empty rooftop apartment in this building. So he's like, I guess I'm gonna take her there and, nurse her back to health. Of course, everybody else in this building finds out, and they're like, are you insane? So,
like, I might be. Whatever.
But grandma has decided, you know what? I like this place. These people looked after me. I'm going to pay the rent. She tells the old lady, clean up the apartment, and I'll pay you $1,000 a month for rent. And like, and I'll just live here. There's a cute little girl who lives here. There's a nice, she and Yui have little like rooftop chats, which is perfect.
I love the apartment found family.
Right?
That's such a good trope.
We'll see. Dad just got drunk and admitted to his son that, we had grandma hidden in an apartment for like 3 years. But she like escaped. So, and if she gets out, my own mother thought that I murdered my brother. He didn't do it. His wife did. But like, he didn't do it. So, he's like.
But you're not making your case whenever you go hide grandma in a hostage situation.
So So
I mean, if you're gonna like hide grandma, you probably also are a killer. Like,
yeah, putting that out there.
Yeah.
It is what it is, a family weekender, and both families are bonkers, and
but it's very common.
So,
but the grandma character sounds like a delight, though. Like that sounds.
I love
really
her.
fun.
She is the most sane. Her and Yui are like the most sane of all the characters. And the single dad who teaches golf lessons, he's also very sane. But then there's a lot of nonsense that happens around them. So, and that's, I don't really have the time to watch too much else right now. So that's about it for me right now.
So Natalia here. Now you're thinking, oh, does Natalia have the time to watch lots of things? You bet your butt I do. But I'm not even going to mention everything, okay? I'm picking, like, a selection of things for my roundup. And I want to start with a little, it's an 18-episode show on Viki, but the episodes are only 15 minutes long, so, like, it will not take you long to watch it. And it is an absolutely unhinged 2019 J-drama called Noble Boys, where the plot of this drama is they're doing, like, there's these 4 hot rich dudes, sort of like they're doing like a Boys Over Flowers setup, but the twist is they're having a reality show bachelor style where they're gonna pick women to be their wives, but for some reason they're all like 18, so it's like, I don't know what's the hurry, like, calm down. But for some reason, despite the fact that there's 4 bachelors, they only pick 3 contestants to, like, be on the show. And so you meet, like, the main character who's like this, like, 12th grader who likes dancing and just randomly is poor and is randomly on this show, and, like, she gets picked because, like, she's kind of ridiculous, and they're like, this is gonna be good for ratings. And then you have, like, the cool girl who's, like, super cool, who loves her mom so much, and so she wants to marry a rich guy so she can take care of her mom. It's nice. And then the third girl is, like, a rich girl, but she's, like, a nouveau riche girl. And it's important to know that one of the guys is also from, like, a nouveau riche family where the other guys are old money. So she's tired. Like, she goes to, like, like a fancy private school, but everyone's mean to her because she's not from old money. So she wants to marry someone from old money so that she can, like, truly be part of high society. So she's like, anyone but the guy whose father owns all the sushi restaurants. Like, anyone but him. Anyway, it is so ridiculous. Like, I watched it in like, however long it takes. Yeah, however long it takes to watch 18, 15-minute episodes, that's how long in one day it took me to watch this show. And I was just, and it's one of those where you're just like, why am I still watching?
Well, you get to a point, I've invested this much, I have to keep going.
Like, you can't stop. Like, you just gotta keep it up, because it's, like, there's even, like, and they really get the, like, how ridiculous these reality shows are. Like, there's one point where it's like they have to pick a random guy to, like, go on a date with, but all the guys come in with, like, mascot heads on, so they don't know which guy. They're like, and you're just like, this is so fucking real. Like, this is, like, it's so real that it shouldn't be real, Like, and yet you're like, no, this is how these shows go.
Definitely how it goes.
This is definitely. Anyway, it's a ridiculous show, and I actually genuinely enjoyed watching it, but it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Speaking of also kind of dumb, I took it upon myself to watch the Korean remake of Why Are You?, which is a Thai show that's very silly, and it's on iQIYI. When I tell you, besides the barest of bones plot-wise, which is and this is the same plot in the original Why Are You?, it's that this guy finds out that his sister, like he goes to college with his sister, that his sister has been writing a very popular gay online novel where he and his like enemy at school are the two main characters in this online novel. And he's like, you gotta stop writing this novel. I hate this guy. And she's like, oh, you don't have like a little bit of affection for him? Like, I saw some things that out of context kind of look like maybe you two are in love. And he's like, if I like this guy, then I will be cursed for your book to become real.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and then
what happens
then lightning flashes, and they're like, oh, so like, it's like they change. Like, so in the original, it was an engineering student and versus architect student, like the classics, right? Yeah. But they gotta switch it up for the Korean version. I was like, what the hell are they gonna do with the Korean version? They're all film students now, so they all have to work together to make films. And one of them's like an acting student. The main guy's an acting student, and the guy he hates is like wants to be a director. And then like there's like a second couple where it's like the one wants to be a cinematographer, and then like the other one's like the older student who, is dating his best friend. Like it was fine. It was fine.
What's the title of it?
It's called Y, and then just the letters R and U.
So it's the same title.
Same title.
Okay.
Okay.
Same title, like same writing and everything. And it even randomly has a cameo from the guys who starred in Naughty Babe, which I recently talked about earlier in this episode, because they got their first acting jobs in the original Why Are You? As like a tertiary couple who were shipped in this girl's novel, where she just ships every man she meets on campus is like the premise of her novel, right? And then everything she writes starts coming true. So that was like their first role together, as it were, though they had like 3 scenes, like very tiny. But anyway, they appeared in it, so it was kind of fun, where it's like they're foreign exchange students and no one can pronounce their full names, like because Thai names are really long. It was fine. It was pretty fun. So if you like the original, like it's fun I like watching remakes of things to see like, if it's like shot for shot or different. This one was very different. Also on iQIYI, I watched 2 more shows on iQIYI. One was called Hello, I'm at Your Service. And it was your typical, delightful C-drama where it's like plucky, poor girl has to work for, a rich dude who just took over his family's company. But unlike a lot of these shows, it actually goes into what these people's jobs actually are, which, like, to be honest, a lot of shows is just like they do business. And
have contracts, okay?
Yeah, exactly. They do business. But in this one, like, his mom started like a condiment company. So it's like he now runs, because his mom is sick, so he now runs his mother's like sauce condiment empire. And she is the it's called like the customer service agent, but it's basically the go-between between like a creative ad agency, like a very small like creative ad agency, like of graphic designers, and then she's the one who's not a graphic designer but goes to the companies and is like, okay, this is what we have, like what are your changes? And so it's like they have a distinct like job, which I really like. Sometimes it's just like they do business and I'm always like, well, what business? But when I tell you this man, okay, little thing, Sky knows this, everyone knows this about me when they get to know me, I love a simp. I love a simp. I love a guy who's just so down bad, and then like the girl doesn't realize it yet. But like, and the guy's already planning their like marriage and children. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, this is the girl of my dreams, and she's just like, you're such a good business partner. If you like that energy, this is the show for you.
It just really helps with dynamics. I just gotta say, it helps with dynamics.
It's nice. It's
nice.
a nice dynamic, okay? It's just, because, they always say that marriages will last if the man loves the woman more than the woman loves the man.
It's true.
It's So the other show that I'm watching on IGE is called Laws of Attraction. Or I say I'm watching. I've watched all of these. I'm finished watching these. What I'm currently watching, you'll hear about next month. So this is a very unhinged show. All right. And Amanda, I don't think this one's for you. I'm gonna just start out by saying this one.
Noted.
So it basically you meet this like really nice dude who's like raising his niece because her parents died and he loves his niece so much, and then his niece gets hit by a car and dies. But the guy who he thinks did it is the son of this rich family, and he has this unhinged lawyer who's like, I'm gonna keep you out of jail. But then eventually the lawyer, due to shenanigans, is like, you know what? Fuck this rich family. And then goes to like the uncle and is like, I'm switching sides. I'm gonna work with you now and we're gonna take them down. And then the uncle's like, I don't trust you. I don't like you. You're crazy. And when I tell you, the guy playing this lawyer has the best, like, unhinged crazy eyes you've ever seen in your life. So they're working together eventually because, like, the uncle's family is like, no, like, there's not every day that, like, a high profile lawyer wants to pro bono a case for a bunch of poor people, like, to, like, help get justice. But oh no, he's hot.
Oh no, he's hot.
Oh no, he's hot. Oh no, the unhinged energy just really, and anyway, it was something. It was actually like, I gave it an 8.5, which is a very high rating for me.
Yeah.
It was quite enjoyable. It was really good. Like, it was just.
And what country was this?
It was Thailand. This is a classic Thai. So it has, like, a bit of a licorne, but not too much that you're just like, okay, we've gone over the edge. But it's like, you get a couple, like, unhinged, like, like, And it's like, this, I'm telling you,
there should be a cackle counter for, like, how much licorne is it?
Like, it's just the guy playing the lawyer is so good. Like, he's, like, unhinged, but he's not to the point where it's so unhinged that you're like, enough.
Yeah.
And finally, I finished Boss Doll Mart, and it was delightful, and it was very cute and silly, and you should go check it out. It's on Viki. We already talked about it last month.
How many episodes was it? It's only like a handful, right?
It was only like 10 episodes, I think. Like, it wasn't
like 8 or something.
8 or 10. It was 10 episodes. And they weren't super long. They were like 45-minute episodes. And it was very cute and very silly and delightful, and it was just exactly the sitcom little cuteness that you were expecting, with a little bit more heart than I think I was expecting when I started it. But it was really fun, and I enjoyed it. And that's all I'm gonna mention this month. So Jessie.
So I haven't been watching much that is like Asian. I've done a lot of non-Asian stuff, and places we can't talk about. But I did start the K-drama Twinkling Watermelon. I'm first episode, but I find it very good, and I intend to keep on. It's airing right now. I don't know if it's being impacted by sports. It probably is. Let's be real with ourselves. Everything's getting impacted by sports. But it's essentially about this boy who is the only hearing member of his family. And he, to kind of cope with the transition and like also being the like member of his family who has to like kind of be the frontward facing person in public, like he's the one translating them and that sort of thing, to kind of try to like cope, or like not like cope, but like try to find who he is as a person. He ends up meeting this guy who owns a music store, and he kind of like takes him in, and it's kind of that like, that very caring, like wise, gives out like advice type of, sage type person. And he teaches him how to play guitar. And so then when he gets older, he's now like great at the guitar, and it's like music is his passion. There are things that I know that are coming up in the drama that I haven't gotten to yet, so it's like I haven't even gotten to the like main plots of the show. But I will say, on paper, if you took every trope that Sky has said she absolutely loves, it is literally in this drama. I cannot like I was watching, I was like, it might not be like her best drama, but like if she started watching it, she'd be like, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Oh yeah.
Say
Like,
less.
I was just like sitting there, I'm like, I'm not the one who should be watching this. Sky is the one who should be watching this drama. But I've also heard like around the internet, it's like a really like everybody
really
loves
it.
Like I really didn't think it was going to be as like good or as like compelling as it was when I started it. So I'm really happy I started that. I also am watching an anime that has been on my watch list since it came out. I knew I was going to love it, and I do love it. It's called The Promised Neverland. It is 1000% not an Amanda show. 1000%. Do not touch it at all. Like, do not. I can't tell you much about the show, except that it's about a group of kids who are in an orphanage, just living their best lives until they find out something. something. And literally within the first episode, and this is an anime, the episodes are 20-minute long, things go just in a way that you're never expecting, and it is not for everyone. It is definitely a horror anime, but 'tis the season. But I really like it. I enjoy it, so it's good. But other than that, that's like all kind of it. But I am still watching Seven Escape, which I think we're gonna have to just do like a full wrap.
Yeah,
because, like,
we will have to just do a whole episode sometime on it because we can't do bits of it.
Yeah, it's friggin' wild.
Ijun. Like he is, and then Hwang Jung. Oh my gosh, I have to like. I know I said this the last time, but I have to tell you. You know how she does, like it's like a fine, like it's an acting choice. I get it, like you know the very like screechy animated stuff. This is the show that is meant for it, and she doesn't do it in this. Like she's completely different, and it's so creepy. It's so it messes with you, and I think it messes with me even more because I know how like I've seen her in other things, so I like know how she is acting in that way. And you're like, this is a show she could do it in, and she's not doing it in. And
What's
it's like really, it's like you know, like when that like person who's like never been like scary before just goes like silent. And you're like, I fear for my life. That's her every time she's on screen. She's so good. She's so good. So I'm having a lot of fun with her and Lee Jun. Like both of them are just. This is a wacky show. It
really. When I'm done with it, I will probably want to pick up Penthouse because I'm having so much fun with this one. It'll probably prove. I really do think probably thematically I will always prefer Escape of the Seven just because I like how it involves like idols and things. But and Penthouse is just like rich people. Right? I mean, so that's why I never wanted to pick it up. But because I'm having so much fun with this, and then there was even a cameo from one of the main actresses from Penthouse.
She's the one who's in Mother Is Mine, that one weekender that we were watching, Amanda. Is that what it Mother Is Mine? Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Mother
main
of Mine? Yeah.
Yeah, the main daughter. Like,
okay.
You know, yeah. That's her. Yeah.
So she had a really cool scene and everything. I was like, okay, I'll probably have to. Yeah, yeah I'm super enjoying that.
Yeah. Oh, also, like, I just remembered this when Sky was talking. It's not about Seven Escape. I just, like, a fun little, like, information about that J-drama that I just talked about, the kissing the ring finger. One of the screenwriters is a screenwriter for Alice in Borderland.
Very different.
Wow.
Completely different.
Very different vibe.
I was like, wait, what? Okay, I mean, sure.
All right.
But,
well, that's it for this month's what we're watching. Thank you for listening. We will be back next month with some more bangers, I'm sure. If you want to listen to us wherever podcasts can be found, that's where you'll find us. And we're also on YouTube, where we also do live streams that are super fun, and we have a good time with those. If you want to support this podcast, you can go to patreon.com/certifiednunas to join the Certified Fan Family. They're a fan family on the web. They're fantastic, and they get extra little mini-sodes that are just for them, and a movie night every month. It's very fun, and it's a good time. We love our fan family. You're the best. And our website, of course, if you want links to everything that we're talking about, is certifiednunas.com, where every single episode, you can even listen to every single episode there, and they'll have time codes and links to anything that you're looking for. So yeah, thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week. And as we always say as we sign off, wear a mask, wash your hands, and keep enjoying Asian entertainment. Bye.
Bye.